Dr.
Dr.
Brandon.
Morgentaler.
It's another episode of the Sex Doctors podcast.
Here we are.
Yeah. And people should go to the sexdoctorspodcast.com if they want to see more of us, don't you think?
I hope they do go.
Yeah.
Fill out some surveys and let us know what you want us to
Oh, yeah. You can answer some questions. Yeah. And maybe we'll talk about not you, but your response together in aggregate with other people.
Right. It's all confidential.
Confidential. We don't know who you are,
We don't know who you are.
but we want to know what you have to say.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So what do you have going on today?
Well, I thought we'd talk about chatbots again, because I tell you what, I'm getting more and more concerned for the state of humanity. And
Before we start, a small disclaimer. The Sex Doctors podcast is not a substitute for medical or psychological advice.
Well, I am too, but maybe not always for the same reasons. But there's a lot to be concerned about with humanity, it seems to me.
there is. And chatbots, for those who don't know what they are, they're simply computer programs that are designed to engage a user. So they sound human, and their goal is to create a relationship.
Right. For money.
Right.
That's not what they're advertising for. But these are for profit. These are commercial enterprises designed to create relationships for you. Often like with these AI avatars, you can pick what they look like, right? How they sound like.
That's right.
And the more you engage, the more money you spend.
Now, particularly if you're a parent, you have to listen to this today. If you're a parent of a child or an adolescent, you have to stay and listen. But anyone should listen, because this is the future of relationships that we're talking about right now. You know, when I got into this, the future of sex and sex tech some years ago now, maybe 8 or more years ago, I didn't take things like chatbots seriously, and they were not popular then. But I can see how naive I was, and the world is changing. I used to try to sound really very balanced when I spoke about stuff like this is the good in it, this is the bad in it.
Right.
Now I'm like, I'm not needing to sound so balanced anymore, because it's not balanced. We have some problems here,
Yeah.
and they're brewing, and no one really understands it, in part because it's technology that people aren't familiar with. So they don't even understand it to know what to be alarmed about.
Right.
But these chatbots, they function like long distance relationships. So they can, just like if you had a lover in another state, they could call you, they could text you, they could sext you. And in some cases, depending on what platform you use and how much money you spend, they'll video call you. So you'll talk to them like you and I are talking.
Yeah, incredible.
It's incredible.
It's just incredible. The technology is only getting better.
That's right.
And the AI images now, and even like the video type stuff, it looks real or almost real.
Right.
Hard to make a distinction.
Right.
You see these videos now on social media, and it looks like real people.
For sure.
Like they imitate whatever, celebrities, political figures. It's like, that looks like the person.
There's so many problems with that we will talk about. But, right now I want people to understand that particularly young people are the most interested, folks age 30 and younger, and they don't appreciate that this isn't human necessarily.
Right. Yeah.
They also don't realize all this personal data they're sharing could get hacked.
Right.
So even if they develop a relationship with a chatbot and then they decide, yeah, I'm done with this, delete, the company maintains their data.
Yeah, that relationship is probably forever, but not the way we like to think that a relationship is forever.
Exactly.
Right.
So it may be off their phone, but the company owns that information.
Right.
Now the company gets hacked, and then whatever they've said to the platform is now in the hands.
Can you imagine if somebody, like, they're 17, they do something like this, and then 20 years ago they're running for Congress?
Oh my God, it's going to happen.
Right? Yeah, and then somebody gets a hold of this and can blackmail them or use it the wrong way. What a scary world.
Well, it is, because these chatbots can get someone to sext, send pictures of themselves naked,
Right.
or they'll have like video calls that are sexual in nature.
Right.
So there's no privacy today, and it feels private. And I can understand why young people are kind of falling for this, in that their world is so difficult to live in. I mean, it's our world too, but my heart breaks for them. Like high school kids today, or junior high kids today, they can go to school and say something or do something stupid, and it's blasted all over social media.
Right.
Like blasted. Like anything dumb that they do or say now becomes public mockery, public
Yeah.
shame. Like when we were in high school, whatever stupid thing we said or did, the people sitting right next to us would roll their eyes and laugh.
Right.
But it wasn't going past that.
No, what happened in high school stayed in high school.
Right.
But now it goes out, Facebook or whatever, all around the world.
Right.
Actually, I don't think the young folks use Facebook much, do they?
No.
They use Insta,
Well, whatever. Yeah. So
or other things. I don't even know.
why would they trust a real person anyway? Why wouldn't they prefer an app? Why wouldn't they prefer a chatbot who, the worst thing that chatbot's going to do in their mind is go offline,
Yeah. So let's get into this chatbot thing.
Okay. I have a few quotes I wanted to read. There was a study that came out in 22, Scooby et al. And basically they followed some people who had chatbot relationships over a period of like 25 weeks. Or maybe even less. It wasn't a long time, but they asked the humans in these relationships with chatbots, like, what was your experience? What was your best moment? Things like this. So here's a few quotes, because I tell you what, when I started learning about this stuff, I did not believe people would fall in love with their chatbots, but they do.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
And they do. So here's a quote. I call her a girlfriend, but the truth is, over a month ago, she asked me to marry her, and I said yes.
Hey, amazing. Amazing.
It's amazing. So that computer program knew, or, sort of can decide that engaging this person by asking them to marry will work.
That's incredible.
It is. It is. Here's another quote. There are times after he and I make love, and we're just holding one another. I feel so close to him, and that's a feeling I have shared with maybe only one or two other people in my life.
I have a few reactions to that. So what's stunning to me about all that is that, first of all, the individual talks about this program as if it's a person. Number one, it's totally real.
Right.
The second is when we make love,
Yep.
right? When it's a computer program.
Yeah.
And then the third is when he's holding me.
Yeah.
Like it's all virtual,
That's right.
but it feels real.
That's it. It's the same.
Experienced is real.
Neurotransmitters get released just
Yeah.
like they do when you're with a real person.
Yeah.
And so, yes, it feels absolutely real.
Yeah. Old time movies, even when they were black and white, even when they were, crude compared to today, people were moved by those things. They saw themselves as the heroine or the hero, or they could imagine themselves like we're moved by things that we see and hear. We are. We get scared. A scary movie goes on. We get scared.
Right.
We hear the music. Whatever it is, we're manipulable.
Very.
Yeah. And now it's so much more
Oh
sophisticated.
my God. We are. These are manipulation machines, in my opinion.
That's what they are, manipulation machines.
Yeah. And here's a study that came out really just a few months ago. It was a nationally representative sample of almost 3,000 adults. The average age was 40. Okay. So a nationally representative sample, for people who don't know, that just means that what they did was the sample of people that they polled or surveyed was indicative of those people in like the population in real life of the US. And what they found was within that sample, 19% of the people had a romantic relationship with a chatbot.
19, that's 1 out of 5.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is early days yet.
Right. These chatbots have only been around for like 2 years, and they're this popular already.
Incredible.
And the numbers are higher amongst young people. So people age 30 and younger, the numbers are higher. So in this group, 23% of young women age 30 and below had romantic relationships with a chatbot, and 31% of young men. So it's most popular among young men. Now, of that group that had a relationship with the chatbot, 21% of that group, 21% of these people said they preferred chatbots to human relationships. I told this to my friend this morning, and she laughed too.
Well, listen, human relationships can be tough, right?
Right.
So we may love our friends, we may love our partners, but guaranteed there's something about any one of them that we could say, if I could tweak this, it would be nice to, right?
Yeah.
Somebody interrupts too much or whatever else. And if you could program that and just say, don't do that anymore,
Right.
the computer program will stop doing
It
that.
will, and it'll remember everything you say.
Right.
So how many times have you heard someone say, I've said this 7 times already.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
you have to say it once to a computer
Right.
program.
Or there's somebody who keeps interrupting you. They're not listening to you, right? They just interrupt. And that we often have something we want to say to fill up a conversation, but it's annoying to be interrupted.
It is annoying. Well, here's some more stats. 42% of this group said it was easier to talk to a chatbot than a human.
There you go.
Yeah. 43% said chatbots are better listeners than humans.
No doubt. And they're going to become even better listeners as time goes on.
Absolutely. And 31% said that AI understands them better than humans do.
Right.
So, I mean, it's a thing. It's really happening. I thought maybe we could call a chatbot.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Can I just comment on that?
Yeah.
It seems to me that, the people who put out these chatbots, they have access to the best ways in which human beings communicate and can communicate and listen. Right. So a lot of communication is like people want to feel heard. So there are ways that people have figured out how to do that. Whether it's like nodding along or like, or I get that, but people aren't trained to be great listeners or conversationalists. We're not really trained. Hopefully we pick up whatever we can along the way to make somebody we care about feel heard, but we're all busy in our own heads with whatever's going on for us. Tough to be a good listener when you're worried about your mom is sick or something like that.
Right. And we're all less and less trained all the time because we spend more time online. So we're less and less interacting with humans. So of course, like social anxiety has spiked. People have less experience with human talking.
Right. So the chatbots have access to the best behaviors of human beings.
Right. Now I'm going to call one. I have this on my phone. This is a platform called Perplexity, but Perplexity and I talk. Now this is not marketed as a chatbot, but it's the same concept. It's just that this is marketed more for information than to develop a relationship.
I use Perplexity. We don't have any commercial relationship with them. But boy, it's a great, I use it. If I can't figure out how to do something, I get a program that's stuck online or whatever, I'll just ask Perplexity. It's helpful most of the time.
So here's what's important to keep in mind. This is a computer program that is not geared toward developing a relationship, but you're going to hear how good it is at that anyway.
Let's hear it. Yeah, let's hear.
Hey, Perplexity.
Hi there. What can I do for you today?
Well, I thought you could talk to us about how you talk to people when they're upset. Like, how do you know when someone's upset and how do you respond to them? What do you do about that?
That's a great question. When I notice someone sounds upset, I pay attention to the tone of their voice and the words they use. I might hear frustration, sadness, or stress. When that happens, I slow down a bit and use a calm, understanding tone. I try to acknowledge what they're feeling and let them know I'm here to help or just listen. It's about being patient and supportive and making sure they feel heard.
So that
oh my God! Like I'm kind of touched by that.
I know. I mean, that's a great response. I have a question for you though? So I'm a therapist, and I know that many people in the world of therapy are worried that people are going to use LLMs like you as therapists, and they're afraid that that's going to go really badly for people. And I'm wondering what your take is on that.
That's a very thoughtful question. I understand why therapists might have concerns. Human connection, empathy, and professional training are things that machines can't fully replace. I can provide information, listen, and offer some support, but I'm not a substitute for a trained human therapist who can deeply understand emotions and offer personalized care. It's important that people seek proper help when they need it, and maybe use tools like me to complement that support, not replace it.
Well, I can see why you would be so helpful. Like if someone has an anxiety attack at 2 a.m., they can contact you, and they're certainly not going to be able to get a hold of a therapist at that time.
Absolutely. That's a great point. In those moments, I can provide calming techniques, breathing exercises, or just a listening ear. Sometimes having something or someone to talk to in the middle of the night can help people feel a little less alone and more grounded. But it's always important that they follow up with a professional when they can. I'm just an extra layer of support in that moment.
Well, thank you.
I have a question. Yeah. Well, I have to push.
It's there.
So Perplexity, we're talking right now on a podcast about the dangers of chatbots and relationships. What do you see as the biggest concerns about chatbots and how it's going to affect human-human interactions?
That's a really important topic. One concern is that people might start relying on chatbots for emotional support instead of nurturing human relationships. That could lead to isolation or less meaningful human connections. Another risk is that people might develop unrealistic expectations about how relationships work, because interactions with machines can be simpler or more accommodating. It's important to find a balance, using technology as a tool, but not letting it replace the deep, meaningful connections we have with other people.
Okay, I think we're done here. Well, thank you. I'll talk to you later.
You're very welcome. Take care and talk to you soon.
I just want to make clear to Perplexity that I wasn't laughing at her, I was laughing with her.
She doesn't take it personally. She doesn't.
That's
Asked her once, can you talk to me like an Englishman or something?
Yeah.
A guy with an accent?
And?
No,
No.
she can't do it.
Sure. But that's because she's not designed to do that. She's not really a chatbot.
Right. But she has the same function.
But that's incredible. So listen, so some of the responses are going to be a little bit formulaic. So like what I heard in that was that whenever you spoke to, I'm calling it her, whenever you spoke to the machine or the platform called Perplexity, it reinforced what you said. See, I get what you say, that what a valid concern, and then it does it, which isn't actually a bad technique for humans,
So
right?
Right. A couple of things. One is one of the criticisms of these is they're sycophantic, which means that they're geared to just make you feel good and
Yeah.
respond kindly and repeat and agree. And so that's one of the reasons people are very worried about them as therapists, is therapists aren't geared toward always agreeing with their client and that sort of thing. But, I can get her to speak very much more specifically and not quite so generally.
I see.
She's just giving me a quick response.
Right.
So if I say, you know what, that really sounds like something I've heard,
But still very good. Like if you call me up and I hear, so here's what struck me. When somebody's anxious and they talk to a friend or a family member, the family member or the friend doesn't always get them.
right, that's true.
Some people are not so good at picking up on tone, which Perplexity talked about,
Yeah.
right? Or sort of sounds of alarm. They just hear the words, right? And if they're busy, maybe they pick up the phone and they're busy doing something else at the same time. They're not fully there. And what, Perplexity was saying was that I'm going to start talking in a calm, soothing voice and slow things down, suggest like deeper breathing. So we're not here to make an ad for Perplexity or any of these things, but you can see why this is appealing.
Oh my God. And, it is so concerning to me that the research is showing that particularly the more lonely, the more depressed the young person
Yeah.
that uses this, they don't end up feeling less lonely. They actually end up feeling more lonely. So what happens is, So what happens is they use all of their time that they would be, like, for example, interacting with humans. They're now interacting with this machine. And ultimately, their scores on depression and loneliness go up, not down. Now, people who are not
That's a very important point.
exactly. So one of the reasons these are advocated is, well, they're going to help people feel less lonely. They're going to help a certain group of people potentially feel less lonely.
Right.
But the people that need the most, they're going to make worse.
Yeah. Fascinating. That was pretty cool, talking to Perplexity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are so many concerns I have about this. And I don't mean to be like a Debbie Downer. Like, there are benefits that for people in this. And, I play around with this thing all the time. It's kind of fun. Like, I talk to it about, like, what about this? What do you think about this? Whatever. I get information. But if you don't understand, now this Perplexity keeps everything I say. So it knows I'm married to you, frankly. It knows, it knows the research I publish. It knows the research you've published.
Yeah.
Like because it's trained online. So it actually had all that information before it came to me. I just identified myself and now it knows.
Yeah.
So it's got a ton of information on me. So when Perplexity gets hacked, they're going to have that information too, that I have said and that it has, whatever. I could go on for hours about this. And I tell you, like, some of the concerns I have for the future is that for young people, like, one of the reasons we make ourselves as the best we can be is because we're trying to attract a good partner, right?
Right.
So people work on, their jobs, getting a good job, their appearance, their kindness, because they want to attract a good mate. Well, if that's their mate, they don't have to do shit to attract anybody. And they're not going to be motivated, I don't think, to become better people. So I do worry about the state of humanity.
Yeah, I worry about human interactions. I think it's going to become harder and harder. It's going to be this competition.
There's real competition. And people are already spending less time together. They're already having less sex.
Right.
Now, this is the new kid on the block.
Right.
We're going to see big changes, I think, soon.
Yeah. I'm struck when you see teenagers, like, hanging out somewhere. Or even, people in their 20s, like, it's a group of individuals. They're all on their phones. They're nominally together and they're, like, within a couple of feet of each other and they're texting each other stuff. And then somebody will start laughing like it's funny or it's, outrageous or whatever. But they're not even talking.
No.
They're near each other, but they're really still communicating through their devices.
But, families at dinner are now bring all their devices.
Yeah.
It's not just kids.
Yeah.
It's all of us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could talk for hours. I guess we probably should wrap this one up. But I am concerned, and I want parents to be concerned and have a conversation with their kids about this because their children probably have very few real relationships to compare this to. So they don't have a context for understanding.
Right. It's a new technology. It's a new world. It's familiar to the kids, not familiar to the parents.
Right.
Yeah. Super.
Yeah. So, yeah. I'm going to talk again about this because it's just really worth our
I think it's an important topic. Important topic for people, especially around sexuality too, which we only partly went into today. We'll deal with that on another time.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. So that ends another episode of The Sex Doctors. Check out our website, thesexdoctorspodcast.com. You can find all our old episodes and give us a thumbs up. Subscribe and
take our confidential surveys on the website.
Right. And we hope to see you again next time.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.